Were the stars aligned when you were born? Probably not, but a girl can hope. Let's get into the birth chart reading of Udoka. And remember, girl, if you hear something you don't like, don't blame me, blame that personality. Let's go. First off, girl, I know that you take your work and your reputation really seriously because you have a 10th house stellium. You have 3 placements in your 10th house, which is really heavily focused on work. I mean, I guess it's better than being broke. Let's look at your top 3. You're a Scorpio sun, a Pisces rising, and an Aquarius moon. Just when I think you're overly emotional and very sensitive, here comes your Aquarius moon like, nope, don't give a fuck. Your rising sign, which is what most people see you as, is a Pisces. You're like a go with the flow, you don't like to fight, you're not into drama. You just want to be left alone to be up in the clouds dreaming away. You spend a lot of time in Delulu land, but it's okay. You don't care. You see the good in people even when they do not deserve it, girl. Somewhere in your head, you think that everybody has a little grain of goodness, no matter how fucked up they are. You gotta be careful because people will take advantage of that. But I don't feel like I really have to worry because you have a Scorpio sun. Your Pisces rising is like everything's great and your Scorpio sun's like, no bitch, come back down to earth and reality. Scorpios are intense, they're determined, they're calculated. You're not getting anything past a Scorpio. May God be with whoever decides that they're gonna try to do you dirty, bitch, because you are gonna get them back because you're vindictive. With a Scorpio in your 9th house, you need to understand the world around you. So you ask a lot of questions, you observe, you do your research. With a square between your sun and your moon, you have like this internal struggle between what you want and what you need. And sometimes you tend to be a little too objective, which can push and pull you in different directions, so you never know really where you're gonna stand. But all that confusion is internal. On the outside, all people know is that you are opinionated and you are a strong person. With an opposition between your sun and your Jupiter, you have a lot of optimism, you have a lot of hope, you have a lot of happiness. You don't let anything get you down for too long. Even when you date people you know you have no business dating, you just chalk it up to lessons learned. With a moon in Aquarius, all the fucks are not to be found around you. You know who else was an Aquarius moon? Charles Manson, bitch. You're smart, you're independent. Some people might think you're a little emotionally stunted, but it's because you're not out here with your heart on your sleeve. And as soon as you see the first sign of hurt, you detach from that feeling like a motherfucker. The funny thing is, even though you are smart, in relationships, you tend to tolerate a lot, girl. But I think it's because you really believe in the idea if you water your grass, it'll grow. You don't have to go on somebody else's grass just because it's greener. But like, girl, sometimes you just gotta throw out the grass because there's like weed and dog shit all up in it. With a moon in your 11th house, you make friends easily. And even though you act like you don't care, you do have an emotional need to belong. With a sextile between your moon and your Saturn, you tend to control your feelings. Even when you feel something, you be damned if somebody knows. How you communicate is like a Scorpio, which is intense, bitch. You pay attention to everything. You read in between the lines. Nobody's getting anything past you. You are very aware. Mercury in the 11th house, when you go to bed, bitch, your mind does not turn off because it's constantly thinking about what other people are fucking doing. You love like a Libra. Okay, girl. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important than love to you, to the point where you will compromise even when you shouldn't. With Venus in your 7th house of relationships, I already know you're a peacemaker. You are the one keeping the peace in all of your relationships. Girl, you love to be flexible, but our feelings are not Meg the Stallion's knees. You will break, so you need to be careful. Between your sun sign and your Venus, I know, bitch, you got stalkers. And then you have a Mars in Aries. I already know you are a man-eater, bitch. Mars is the planet of aggression, sex drive. What gets you going in the morning? And Aries is very impulsive. Aries is very me first kind of attitude. Aries is very like, I'm not asking questions. I might ask for forgiveness, but it's not top of the priority list. When you want something, you want it now, and people better get the out of the way or you're gonna run them over. And if it's one thing, you could never be with somebody that's boring because you would rather die. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, shit better be popping off at all times in your relationship in order for you to be happy. Also, girl, you do not have a filter. You just say what's on the top of your mind, and some people might think you're rude, but who gives a fuck? And girl, you have a square between your Mars and your Saturn. You are not a goodwill for all the problematic people out there. I know you like a challenge, but bitch, pick up a puzzle. Not bad, Udoka, not bad. And if you want your birth chart reading, the link is in the bio, bitch. It's only $44. Don't be cheap.